Hello, welcome to Math with Mr. Dobrescu to the rescue. Today we are going to look at parallel lines and transversals. We are going to do some geometry. And we know that when two parallel lines, two lines that never touch, are crossed by another line, which is called a transversal. So when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, a variety of angle relationships are created, including congruent and supplementary angles. Several key theorems relate the angles formed. And now let's take a look at some of those theorems that are formed. So the first theorem that is formed when two parallel lines are crossed by a transversal is the alternate interior angle theorem. According to this theorem, if two parallel lines, so if we have two parallel lines, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, so are cut by a transversal, we call this a transversal, the alternate interior angles are congruent. Alternate interior angles. Let's take a look at those angles now. The alternate interior angles. So this angle and this angle, you see they're alternate. One angle is on this side of the transversal and this angle is on the other side of the transversal, and they are inside of the parallel lines. This angle and this angle are congruent. They are the same, right? Equal in measure. And also we have this angle and this angle are the same. This angle right here and this angle right here are the same. Pay attention to this theorem. It's called alternate interior angle theorem. Okay? If two lines are cut by a transversal, alternate interior angles are congruent. Let's take a look at another theorem here. And this theorem is called alternate exterior angles theorem. According to this theorem, again, if two parallel lines, so let's draw two parallel lines here first. So if two parallel lines are crossed by a transversal, right? Then alternate exterior, right? Alternate exterior angles are the same. Alternate exterior, right? So we look at this transversal, right? So we have exterior, they are outside of the parallel line. So this angle and this angle, right? They're outside. This is on this side of the transversal and this angle is on the other side. These two angles are congruent. And also, these angles are congruent. Okay? This angle and this angle. And this is called the alternate exterior angle theorem. These angles are congruent and these angles are congruent. Let's take a look at another one now. And this one is called corresponding angles postulate. This is a postulate. So according to this postulate, if two parallel lines again are cut by a transversal, again two parallel lines, let's make the transversal this way. It doesn't matter how the lines are cut, but are cut by a transversal. Okay, let's make that line a little more parallel. Okay, let's make the other line a little bit more parallel. Okay. Then the corresponding angles are congruent. Corresponding means they are next to each other. So take a look. For example, we have this angle here and this angle here, right? Corresponding. Actually, corresponding angles are this angle here, this angle here. This angle is above the line, and this angle here is above the bottom line. See that? They look the same, even as a visual. These two angles are called corresponding. And also, this angle here and this angle here are corresponding. You see, they look the same. This angle is under the line, the first line, and the other angle is also under the first line when two lines are crossed by a transversal. And the same thing happened on the other side. So on the other side of the transversal, the same thing. This angle, let's put 3 lines through them, and this angle, let's put 3 lines through them, right? And finally, the other angle right here. This angle, let's put 4 lines. And this angle, they put 4 lines through the angles. They are congruent. So these are called alternate corresponding angles, right? Corresponding angles, corresponding angles, corresponding angles, corresponding angles. Again, corresponding angles postulate these angles are congruent. And let's take a look at another one here. Same side or consecutive interior angles theorem. Again, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, again, two parallel lines are cut by a transversal right here, like that, then the same side interior angles are supplementary. So this angle in the inside, this angle and this angle, this angle and this angle, both of these angles add up to 180 degrees. Add up to 180 degrees. They are supplementary. And also the bottom one, this one's here, this angle's here. Let's put 3 lines here, and this angle here, 4 lines. These two angles are also supplementary. They also add up to 180 degrees. They are on the same side interior angles, right? Same side, consecutive angles, consecutive, next to each other. So, for example, consecutive numbers, 1, 2, 3, they come after each other, like this one here. This angle and then the next angle is right here. They are consecutive. They add up to 180 degrees. This information is going to come handy when we are going to try to solve for x and find the angles, right? The missing angle in future problems. So pay attention to this theorem, very, very important theorem. These two angles add up to 180 and these two angles add up to 180 degrees. And finally, vertical angles theorem. According to the vertical angles theorem, if two parallel lines are crossed by a transversal, they make the parallel this way now, two parallel lines are crossed by a transversal like that, right? Let's see what's happening. If two parallel lines, let's make this a little bit more parallel here. So two parallel lines. So two parallel lines, so one like that. Okay, and then the transversal like that. Okay. Two parallel lines. This is still not parallel. Let's see. Let's make it a little bit more straight. If two parallel lines are crossed by a transversal, vertical angles are always congruent or the same. Okay? And let's take a look at the vertical angles. For example, if you put your hands like that, okay, you see that? We see two angles, one on the top and one on the bottom, and two angles by the side, right? And it doesn't matter if I move the hands like that, the angles are always going to be the same. Top and bottom, and the side angles are always the same, okay? Those are called vertical angles. This angle and this angle, always the same. This angle and this angle, always the same. These are congruent, these are congruent. And then we can also do the same thing here. This angle and this angle, and this angle and the other angles are the same. These are called vertical angles. Okay? Okay, consecutive angles add up to 180 degrees. Pay attention to this. And then we have here corresponding angles are the same. This angle and this angle, this angle and this angle, and so forth are the same. And then we have another theorem, alternate exterior angles, alternate exterior, And finally, we have alternate interior angles. Alternate interior inside of the parallel lines. Thank you all so much for watching. Now that we know all these theorems and postulate, we are going to use those theorems to solve for the missing angles and to find the relationship between angles when two parallel lines are crossed by a transversal. Thank you all so much for watching, and please share these videos and make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video. All the best to you.